This is the most secure shelter. Built around a century-old tree, the structure is both stable and hidden, with interior space large enough for one person, plus an oversized fireplace in the corner, providing warmth and a way to cook food. And right in front of the shelter is a clear stream with plenty of water, where fresh fish can be caught anytime, making fish a readily available food source. One day, while wandering through the forest, Ah-Fei came across a century-old tree. He immediately stopped to examine it closely, discovering not only the trunk as a natural barrier, but also a clear stream running right beside it. The environment was quiet and beautiful, and even better, between the crisscrossing trunks was a perfectly flat clearing, an ideal spot for building a shelter. So he got right to work, first removing all the loose, unstable branches that could fall at any moment, which both expanded the living space and eliminated safety hazards. Then he used stones to seal up the gaps in the trunk, preventing ants and other insects from nesting there. Next, he brought over more uniform stones. He planned to build a fireplace in the corner for warmth, essential for surviving the cold nights. Whenever he found an irregularly shaped stone, he'd pull out his hammer and strike the edges repeatedly, shaping it to the size and form he needed. After all that work, the fireplace's main frame quickly took shape. Then Ah-Fei grabbed his pickaxe and leveled out the uneven stones inside the shelter, clearing space for further construction. Next, he brought over several logs, positioning them one by one above the fireplace, arranging them tightly together, then hammering in wooden pegs to secure them firmly, forming a solid and stable wall. At this moment, Ah-Fei is preparing to move the lumber, carrying the wood to the ground, placing the wood down, laying it out, positioning each piece, arranging the timber, setting it in place, organizing the materials, stacking the wood, sorting the pieces, aligning each board, distributing the lumber, spreading it out, arranging systematically, placing methodically, organizing carefully, positioning precisely, laying out neatly, setting up properly, arranging in order, completing the layout. After the back wall was built, Ah-Fei found a thick tree stump nearby. He cut off a section and brought it back to the shelter, placing it against the back wall. He set 2 logs on top as support legs and secured them with wooden nails. Then he went outside and split a batch of flat wooden planks. He arranged them tightly on the support legs, and just like that, a handmade solid wood bed frame was complete. After finishing the indoor facilities, Ah-Fei began sealing up the wall in front of him. He first secured a log to the tree trunk as a support point, then used it as a base to mount a central beam at the top, ensuring the structure was stable. He made sure to leave space for the entrance door. Once the frame was assembled, Ah-Fei brought over the tree trunks he'd stripped earlier. He smoothed the surfaces flat, then fixed them one by one to the frame, forming a solid wall. The natural grain patterns in these boards added a rustic charm to the cabin. Next, he brought more tree trunks and first peeled off the bark to prevent insects. He mounted them above the walls at regular intervals, creating the roof's skeletal frame. Then he split more flat planks. He laid them tightly across the frame, completing the initial roof covering. In this fast-paced era, these old artisans still stick to their handcrafted traditions, truly admirable. After reinforcing the roof, he pulled a tarp from his backpack and covered the entire structure. To keep the tarp from blowing away, he spread a thick layer of soil evenly on top. This both weighs down the cover and adds insulation to the little house. Next, Ah-Fei began crafting the entrance door. He selected 2 logs, carved grooves at one end, drilled holes, and hammered in wooden pegs to form the door frame. Then he laid planks across the surface, and a rustic wooden door was complete. But he's not installing it just yet. First, he pours clear stream water into the dirt pile behind the house and mixes it into clay. He seals the gaps between the logs on the back wall tightly to prevent cold wind from seeping inside. The wall by the entrance is also sealed with clay. With the leftover clay, he coats the stones in the corner of the room, creating a simple platform for storing daily items. Then he heads to the nearby stream and uses stones to section off a small pond, planning to raise a few fish there. To add some practical furniture to the empty interior, Ah-Fei uses the remaining planks to assemble a small bench. Once everything is in order, he first installs the door he made. Then he puts in the windows. Now the cabin fully meets the conditions for living in, but after working straight through till now, Ah-Fei hasn't even had dinner yet. So he returns to the stream, rolls up his pants, steps into the cool water, and starts fishing. With practiced skill, he catches several small fish in no time. Though they're not very big in this resource-scarce wilderness, such a catch is already quite good. Back inside, Ah-Fei shaves some dry wood shavings and successfully lights the fireplace by quickly striking flint. He immediately begins preparing tonight's dinner, slowly roasting the fish over the fire. While the fish cooks, he chops some fresh, palate-cleansing vegetables. The savoury aroma of fish mingles with the unique smoky scent of charcoal, bringing this hard day of building to a perfect close. Time slips quietly by in the busyness, and the sky outside grows completely dark. Ah-Fei returns to the warm cabin, officially beginning his first night in this little house.